Talking today about Apple potentially removing the lightning charging port on the iPhone. Adrian Kingsley-Hughes here with me to talk about this. And Adrian, you've received a lot of feedback on this one. It sounds like people are saying not so fast.
Yeah, this was an interesting one. This is a rumor that's been going around for a while. It's got a little bit more heat in it lately. Another one was that people use it a lot for backing up things, especially if they've got a lot of photos and videos, because backing up via cellular or Wi-Fi isn't really as good as it could be. So there's a lot of issues for Apple to face here. And I think it was very interesting because the first thing was that, Apple's not going to do this until 2021 probably. And it's only going to be on the high-end iPhone. And so it's going to be a very staged thing, as we've seen with other things. Apple didn't really get rid of Touch ID. It still exists on the new iPhone SE. There's still a lot of legacy in Apple stuff. But this was a very interesting one in getting this feedback from people that, no, we love this port. And it was, I think this is the time when Apple's really going to feel some heat if they start to get rid of the Lightning port.
Yeah, definitely. As we were just talking about earlier, people get used to what they have and they want things to keep the way that they are, and I'm just looking at mine right now. I mean, obviously for charging, and there's different reasons people want to hold on to that. And it seems like Apple, they're going to call the shots, obviously, with their own products and do what they want, but not uncommon for them to give and take and change things out, right?
Well, yeah, we've seen that with the iPhone and with plenty of other things. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a MacBook Pro here. My first MacBook Pro was absolutely bristling with all kinds of different ports, and I could connect pretty much anything to it. Now I've got 4 USB-C ports on it, and if I want to connect anything outlandish, I need dongles and docks and all this kind of stuff. And we saw Apple get rid of, many moons ago now, the 30-pin port and replace it with Lightning. And there was a lot of people back then who were very anti-Apple changing the port, even though the old 30-pin port wasn't really that good. But people had invested in things, and getting rid of stuff and having to buy new stuff is not what people want to do. But there were far fewer Apple iPhone users back then than there is now. There are literally over 1 billion people using iPhones out there, and a lot of them have got Lightning ports on. So that's a lot of cables, a lot of accessories, a lot of people's cars who are connecting to this stuff. It's a big ecosystem now for Apple to shift on a dime. But like I said, Apple's not going to do it overnight. It's probably going to introduce this on the high-end iPhone first, make it a pro feature. Hey, your phone's probably got more battery in it because we could get rid of this port. Apple's also probably going to respond to things like CarPlay. Apple is a company that loves dongles, and a wireless dongle for CarPlay is the obvious answer here. Just as Apple used to have a 30-pin to Lightning connector for everybody's old docks, Apple is very aware of how people use their iPhone and how people use the Lightning port. They get a lot of telemetry from users. They know how much people are using it. So they'll solve this problem. It'll mean dropping some money for Apple, but hey, we're all doing that already anyway.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? I think it's interesting, certainly, to see how certain things really set people off, and you're on that receiving end of it when you put out an article or a discussion, and people, which is great, for them to chime in, because that's the how you get in the heart and soul of what true consumers are feeling, and they definitely let you know how they were feeling on this.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had one email saying, "Please, please, please stop Apple from doing this." It's like, okay, and it was really interesting that I in the beginning I was very, I wouldn't really have a problem with it, and now I've listened to a lot of people and like, yeah, okay, maybe Apple needs to keep this port for a few more years because people have made quite an investment, and this shift will probably be quite a slow one. It won't be an overnight move. It'll be just like the iPad where they've put the USB-C port on an iPad because, hey, we can call this Pro now because it's got something different. I see that being the way that it happens. People who have got $1,000 to drop on an iPhone will probably be in a better state to make any kind of financial changes, when they're buying new stuff. So they'll likely be able to buy new stuff. Whereas I think on the lower end, I think we're going to see the Lightning port around for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, All right. Well, certainly, people, if you have an opinion on it, you can let Adrian know as he's been filtering through all of your comments and your opinions on this. But much more, of course, on Apple, all the news there we can find, and on the iPhone on ZDNet. We hope you guys will check it out there. Thanks so much for watching.